Welcome to I Love My HBCU ? The podcast where we express our undeniable love for HBCUs, but where we are also not afraid to address a few tough questions. So, sit back, learn a little, love a lot, and rep your HBCU.
It's another episode and, of course, another reason to love your HBCU. I have the amazing Kevin Jones by way of Hampton University joining me today. Kevin, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am amazing. Kevin, I want to get directly to the outfit that you have on. And so for the audience who is only listening and not watching, find a YouTube screen somewhere and click watch on this episode. So Kevin has got the lovely Hampton University blue and white as a sweatshirt that he has on right now. And he's got their what's the right way to say it? It's their saying, it's their
Oh
anthem.
yes, our
See?
I don't even know like the home by the sea because we're the home
Home
by the
by the
sea.
sea.
Yes,
I'm
I don't
trying
know.
to figure out
I
what
don't
it's
know
your tagline. Your tagline. The
our
university's
tag.
motto. There we go.
Yes.
So for those who know Hampton University, they know exactly what Home by the Sea is. But I want you to take us there, Kevin. For those who don't know Hampton and can't visualize it, why is Hampton's tagline Home by the Sea? And by the time you finish describing this,
Yeah.
Kevin, I want to be able to jump in my car and drive to Hampton right now and experience the Home by the Sea. So I want you to take me there. Go.
So Hampton University is probably the best HBCU that anyone would ever be able to lay their eyes on or go to in the whole entire world. It sits on the waterfront, so when you come on campus and you go on campus, you have like this big wide waterfront, has a little sand right there, a nice thing of water. You have benches at the waterfront, seating areas. Occasionally, you'll have food trucks here and there. It's just so amazing, especially when it's sunny outside. It's a really beautiful campus, but it's home to a lot of different traditions. Like one of our other mottos is the standard of excellence and an education for life. So Hampton University is just that school. Like they will build you up, they will challenge you, they will give you problems. They when you leave Hampton, you will leave as us what's the word, solutionist, I would say, because that's what it teaches you. Now it's not going to be easy, you're not going to like it at first, but we have so many different resources here, people that care, programs to get involved in, and it really is the number one student experience. And when I say that, it's not necessarily a whole bunch of parties all the time, a whole bunch of this or that, but it is the number one student experience in the terms of it helps you build up what you want to become. Like if you want to become someone that's a change maker in this world, that does work in this world and those different things, then of course this university builds you up for that, for success.
So Kevin, I don't know if I want to drive there based on that description right now. You should see him smile. I love the fact that you smiled. No, you did a great job. You did a great job. Um, I'm a bison, and I always excuse you. Excuse
It's
you.
okay. We still love you. We still love
Excuse you.
you. We still love
Excuse you.
you. Still love.
Guys, if you're only listening and not watching, you're missing out on these nonverbals, the judgment nonverbal that Kevin just gave me just because I said I'm a bison. Kevin, listen, it's we all belong to the same human race, number one, and then we all belong to the same beautiful Black community where we uplift each other. But I listen, I respect the rivalry. In fact, that's why I brought it up, because I want to ask you, when you hear of the what's the real HU, and let's park that to the side because
Yeah.
every HU is the real HU. So let's park that to the side. But when you hear of the rivalry between Howard University in Washington, D.C. and Hampton University in Virginia, Would you agree? This is what I see. Would you agree that there is a sense of excellence and pride and respect that both of them elicit the minute you hear their names? That in all fairness, the rivalry becomes ridiculous. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that you're spot on in that characterization of it. I mean, when you think about Howard University and Hampton University, they're both well respected institutions, breeding some of the most finest people that our HBCUs breed, or that our colleges breed. HBCU aside, that our colleges breed some of the best people out here in the workforce, out here doing really big things, innovationists, engineers, actors, politicians, mathematicians, scientists, you name it, doctors, lawyers, the whole nine yards. Um, it comes to the sense of like, okay, we're really doing it. I think where the rivalry stems from is like just the HBCU friendly rivalry that HBCUs will have. I know, like for example, Hampton, we consider Norfolk State University, which is like maybe 30 minutes away from campus, more of a rivalry than actually Howard University. And I'm quite sure some Howard University students consider other universities more of a rival than Hampton University. But I think it's just like a nice little friendly competition. Like you stretch my back, I stretch yours. Iron sharpens iron. University sharpens university. So it's like, okay, we're all gonna make sure each other are good, but we all want to have that friendly competition to make sure that at the end of the day, if you're exceeding, I'm exceeding with you, and we're keeping each other accountable in the progress.
Are you from the Hampton area?
So no, actually, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi.
Wow. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. I just wasn't expecting you to tell me that you're all the way from Mississippi. I would have assumed that somebody that talks about Hampton University in the way that you do probably is from that area as opposed
Well,
to a
no,
whole nother state.
that's interesting because last year when I first came here, there were so many students that were from like the East Coast, like New York, New
Yeah,
Jersey,
yeah.
um, Philly, and Michigan. So it was a lot of people that are from the north that go to Hampton University. But this year we've seen like a lot of people from Virginia actually go to Hampton University, and it's probably because of the VTAG scholarship, and it basically gives like anybody that lives in the Commonwealth of Virginia that wants to go to school in the Commonwealth of Virginia, they get $12,500 in scholarships. So that's probably why a lot of people from Virginia go to Hampton University. But yeah,
That's a good reason. Have you seen how much? Well, of course you've seen because you're in schooling, you've seen the tuition, but the tuition is nuts. So if you're going to give me a starting run, if you will, of 12,500, I'm going to take it. I want to talk to you very, very shortly about your civic engagement work and your voter registration work. I really, really want to get into that because
uh,
I'm having a lot of conversations with young HBCU students and just young students your age who listen, we'll get to it. I want to
yeah,
throw the rapid fire at you first, and then we're going to get to how you guys vote. We're going to get to why you guys vote, and we're
yeah,
also going to get to how you decide on your vote. So before we
yes,
do that, let's get to this rapid fire. Are you ready for the rapid fire segment?
I am.
He is. I love it. Okay. Kevin, describe yourself in 3 words.
Um, Passionate, empathetic leader.
Passionate, empathetic leader. Kevin, you're at your college graduation. Who do you want as your commencement speaker?
Who I want as my commencement speaker? I would like Kamala Harris.
Okay, okay. I keep wanting different names. You guys keep picking the same ones. Okay. What's your unpopular opinion about HBCUs?
My unpopular opinion about HBCUs is that I don't have one. I don't
two,
have one.
one. That's fine. That's fine. Shout out your favorite person at Hampton. It could be a professor, administrator, staff, another student. Shout them out.
My favorite person, Miss Calandra Duckett. She's the secretary administrative assistant in the Office of Student Activities.
I love it. Office of Student Activities, we need to big them up like crazy, like
Yeah.
seriously. What message do you have for your president that you haven't shared with them?
My message that I have for a president, having shared with them, would probably be, wow, that's a big one. Um, Keep doing what you're doing to make sure that students' voices are heard properly.
Keep doing what you're doing to make sure student voices are heard properly. I love that. So I was told that the time's up on the rapid fire, but I want to end with a fun question for you. Your
Yeah.
time in college so far, if it was a song, what song would it be?
Oh, it would be. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't have one. I'm blanking. I don't have one.
Kevin, can I be extremely honest with you?
Yeah.
I love that question. I really, really love that question because it introduces me to artists that I don't know. It introduces me to songs that I don't know. So I really love asking that question. But here's the funny thing. If somebody were to ask me the exact same question, Kevin, I don't have one. I don't have a
Yeah.
song. So you're listen, you're in good company is what I say. You are from Jackson, Mississippi. And
Yes.
you and I both know that in the South, there are several HBCUs. I think Alabama by itself has got 10. I can't
Yes.
remember how many
Yes.
Jackson has, sorry, how
Yeah.
many Mississippi has, but
A lot.
Alabama by
A lot.
itself has a lot. They have the most HBCUs
Hmm.
in a state, in the entire country.
Yeah.
Give me your college selection journey. How does Kevin Jones from Jackson, Mississippi, with all of those colleges and HBCUs around him, head north and end up at Hampton University? Tell us your story.
Well, it's actually interesting because my dad moved us from Mississippi to Maryland in the middle of my 11th grade year. So, in the middle of my 11th grade year, where I had literally 3 more semesters of high school, I was moved from Mississippi to Maryland to graduate there. So, that kind of already like exited out the opportunity of me, like, graduating a year early and going to college, but also to my major. So my major is political science. I've always been passionate about civic engagement, politics, policy, and I have a really big interest in public policy. So I knew I wanted to go to school somewhere that would have a lot of different opportunities, room to grow, and all those different things. So going to Hampton University for me was the right pick, and I was actually split between Howard and Hampton. But
Okay.
they were on my short list. It was Morehouse at first, then Hampton, then NCAT actually, then Howard. So it
Then
was like,
Howard.
yeah. So
So
it was
quick
there.
question.
Yeah.
Quick question. Listen, I this is hometown bias that's coming out
Yes.
of me right now. Because you said you moved to Maryland, and you and I both know there are four HBCUs. One, two, three, four HBCUs in Maryland.
Yeah.
None of them made the list?
For me, it was always important to go to a HBCU. I knew I was going to HBCU when I graduated undergrad, but actually, I never was going to consider Hampton. Hampton was never an option
No,
until
I'm
senior
talking about
year.
Maryland. I'm talking about Maryland. Like you
Okay.
moved to Maryland and you're telling me none of the four Maryland schools made your list.
No, no, no. No, no. I think I applied to all, got accepted to all, and never responded back.
Okay. So
I
tell us
think
how
a part of
Hampton.
me wanted to go home, like didn't want to like be too close to home. Like I want my parents to have to drive a good little mileage to see me, but not too far to where it's like if something happens, but because things have happened, they had to come. But it's like okay, I don't want you to just be popping up because they like to pop up, and I be busy. I'm a
Got
busy guy.
it. Got
On
it.
top
Got it.
On top of the fact that I think I just really wanted to go somewhere new.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I got into the mode of like going different places, going new places at this point. So it's like might as well go somewhere new. And plus, like you just hear different things about different universities, and I hadn't heard anything bad about Hampton before coming. And it was also my guidance counselor when I was in high school. She really forced me to take a look at Hampton.
Did you get to visit before deciding on Hampton, or it was one of those where you applied to a bunch of schools and they made it to your short list and Hampton won out? What was the process?
So the process was okay. So I was in high school. I was high school. It's my senior year in high school, and my guidance counselor, she was a Hampton University graduate. And at this point, I didn't know what Hampton University was. I thought it was some community college or something. Didn't know what Hampton University was because, mind you, I grew up in Mississippi. So me thinking, okay, Howard University, that's the HBCU. That's where I'm going. That's the standards. That's where I'm going. That's where I was set from ninth grade to before 12th grade, that's where I was set on going. I told people I'm going to Howard. I'm going to apply to Howard. I'm going to get into Howard. I'm going to go to Howard. That's what the school I'm going to go to. But then my senior year, I had to start taking a more serious look at different schools because people were like, you need backup options. You need to explore other options. You need
Yes.
to go visit other campuses and stuff. Don't sell yourself short on having a full experience. So my guidance counselor, she always would rep Howard and Hampton, and she was like, "Just apply to Hampton. Just apply. Just put the application in." And she actually did a lot of it for me. Like she was like, "Come in, sit down. We're gonna do the application." She's like, "No, don't leave. Finish the application." Like she kept trying to get me to do it, and at the time I didn't understand, but it was like she was trying to get me to just apply to different schools in general, not just particularly Hampton, but she did have an interest in Hampton. So I applied and I got invited to the honors visitation that they had because of my GPA and the different things I was doing in high school. And when I went to here, like I instantly felt at home. Like I remember that
Nice.
Friday, it was like a Thursday evening I came for honors visitation weekend, and it was very sunny outside. It was nice. I come on campus. We're greeted by the student recruitment team, the admissions office. Everybody's really nice, good vibes. Asking, do I need anything? They have food for us. They told us we're gonna be staying in hotels with different students. So I was happy. I got to make friends. Um, what else? It was just like really wonderful. We had a whole ball, so we had like a honest visitation. Like we like the high school students, they threw a ball on for us in the ballroom on the
Wow.
university campus. They gave all of us scholarships for attending. It was like a really good.
Wow.
And then
They
afterwards, I
rolled
got
out the red carpet for you.
yes, and I got accepted on the spot.
Listen, it sounds as if I were there, I would have done the exact same thing because it sounds as if they really pulled out all the stops to try to get you guys to attend, which I absolutely love. Um, let's shift gears ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Are you a junior?
I am a sophomore.
You're a sophomore. My apologies. Wow, you're young, which is amazing because I've read your bio and you are steeped in civic engagement. Like that's your thing. You are very passionate about voter engagement, community organizing, and civic voice. Um, I was sharing with somebody recently that when I ask many of my college students that I interact with, how do they decide on who to vote for? I get one of three answers. Answer number one is whoever my parents tell me to vote for. That's answer number one. Answer number two is whoever's name I hear around the people I know all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It is only answer number three that say, I actually did a little bit of research on that person and I like that what that person stands for.
Yeah.
Most of the time I get one or two, and most of the time it's number one. Now,
Yeah.
I was told I was wrong. I think that we've done a good job as a society over the last few years getting people to vote. Sorry, to register to vote, to
Yeah.
register. Um, but I don't think we've done a good enough job imploring people to know why they're voting for the person that they're voting for. As a young person who is interested, excited, engaged in political science, community organizing, and voter engagement, what would it take for us to get the Kevin Joneses of the world? I'm not saying this is you, Kevin, but the Kevin Joneses of the world who are on social media almost 6 to 9 hours a day
Yeah.
to care about the issues and research the issues behind the persons that they're voting for. What do we need to do differently, Kevin?
I think in my experience of organizing and being in this field in these past couple of years, it's really about meeting this generation where we are. Like for example, the millennial generation grew up without phones, without social media, without some of the internet. And when they did, they wait, wait, okay, not as much access to like some of the older millennials grew up without these things, and then like it's just a different age. Okay, it's been articulated a little weird. I know. I need. You know what? Let me pull it back before I put my foot too deep in. It's
You
about.
already did. You said we did not grow up with phones. Lord have mercy. Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead, Kevin. Kevin, guys, Kevin said that we were out there. Listen, anyone that is, late 30s to mid 40s,
I
Kevin
mean,
just told us. Kevin just told us that we are out here in the boonies and the woods, literally. And when we needed to talk to each other, we had to like quite literally use Morse code to try to get to the next person because
or call the house and someone's parent would pick the phone up and be like,
he's
"Hello."
actually still digging this hole deeper. I am dead. He is still digging this hole. Go ahead, Kevin. What will it take? Without comparing you to us, okay? Because we're
Yeah.
not decrepit. Without comparing you to us, what would it take for us to get you more interested in knowing the issues behind the voter and not, sorry, behind the candidate and not just focused on the candidate's name recognition?
I think it's just a matter of meeting people where they are. Like if they're on social media, like 7 or 8 hours out of the day, then launch social media campaigns. Like have interactive things for them to do. Like go on Instagram lives, make Instagram reels,
Mm.
posts, go on TikTok, have TikTok posts, TikTok reels, because that's how you engage with this generation that we're in right now. That's how you engage with everyone right now. Everyone's on their phones. People rarely sit down and watch the 5 o'clock evening news anymore. People rarely sit down and go and turn the TV on and turn on a news interview. But when you do podcasts like this, when you do interviews on TikTok, when you do things that people can take clips of and post on social media and be like, if you want the full interview, you want the full podcast, click this link right here and go to it. That's how you engage with people. Post the news articles on Instagram, post excerpts on Instagram instead of just posting it on the websites, because there's just a different way of how you do things in 2026. And I think that's what people have to start understanding and getting the crux of. That's how you reach people nowadays.
What are your thoughts on the young? So I've been following a lot of young, recent young, current as well as alumni of different HBCUs. I'm sure other colleges as well, but my brain and my mind immediately goes to the HBCU one. So Jaden Williams, he is a recent grad of Clark Atlanta University, and he was elected in early 2026, I believe it was January. He is the governor, sorry, the mayor of Stockbridge, Georgia. He's probably, when he hears this, he's probably going to be like, yes, speak it into existence, governor of Georgia. He is currently the mayor of Stockbridge. And then there's also Kaya Creekmore, North Carolina A&T
Yes.
associated, and they're running for Senate out of North Carolina A&T. Are they ready?
Are they what?
Are they ready?
I believe they are. I believe that it's way past long due for us to have younger voices at the table when talking about issues that affect everyone. When you look at the average age in Congress, it's like 75 years old. When you look at the average age of different people in these state houses, either in the House of Delegates, state senators, U.S. senators, state officials, there are vastly outdated and very out of touch with majority of the country. Like they're making policies and voting on things that majority of the country does not agree with, or it's that's just not how it is anymore. And it's really unfortunate that a lot of people just don't know that. But I think it also has to do with the messaging of different things. So I say if we have young people running for office, yes, please let young people run for office. Let them be in the office with some of these people who've been here for years together so they can learn, so they don't make mistakes of the past, so that those mistakes don't happen because we're not always going to, like, the people that are in these seats are not always going to be in these seats. And it's up to the older generation to bring in the younger generation and teach them how things are supposed to go. So if you want to run for office, I always tell people run for office. Like, run for city council, be on the school board once you graduate high school. Like, do those different things. Be a community impact leader because if we want change, no one's going to speak up for us better than we will.
I'm going to ask a question that I don't like, but I have to ask it because enough people are thinking it.
Yeah.
What does a recent grad or current student know about running for Congress? What do they know about running a city? Aren't they too inexperienced? What do you say to people that make those kinds of statements?
Well, I'll say those people that make those kind of statements is what makes you experience now and you're like not even living a day to day life right now. I think one thing that people have to understand is people mature at different levels, and it's really hard to articulate it. But if you don't make a mistake, how will you learn? If you don't make a mistake, how will you learn? I think that if you're younger and you started off being someone that was following footsteps, interning, shadowing, doing this, doing that, you have more experience than some people that are in Congress right now who don't even have a degree. Some people are in Congress that have never done anything politically at all. I mean, you have a president of the United States right now who never had any other government office before being in office right now. So I think if he can do it, anybody can do it better.
I'm listening to you. He said anybody can do it better, not just anybody can do it, but better. My go-to with 47 is we legitimately have a felon in the office, a convicted felon in office. That's always my go-to.
And
That
felons can't
sobers
even
me up.
vote.
Uh, that part, it's like that sobers my mind up immediately every single time I think about where we are. I'm not going to get her name right, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she's the president of Tubi. And there was an interview that she did recently, and she said when she became the president of Tubi, she didn't know what she was doing. I'm going somewhere with this, right?
Hmm.
And it made me think of the criticisms that I've heard, because I've heard a little bit of the criticism of the recent grads or the current students who are
Yeah.
running for different political seats. And she made a statement that I'm going to paraphrase. She said, most jobs that you're going to have in life, excluding that of the sciences, you learn it on the job. You
Hmm.
don't really have a lot of experience prior to doing it. And I would hope that as more and more people listen to the Kevin Joneses of the world, to the Kaya Creekmores of the world, to the Jaden Williamses of the world, they hear that they need to be in those positions to make the mistakes. And it's by making those mistakes that you actually learn what you should do and what you shouldn't do along the way. So I do appreciate your response of do it anyway, because whether we like it or not, if you leave it to those who are quote unquote experienced, and what does that really mean when it comes to politics? You will never speak up and you'll never start getting involved in ways that might make a difference in the future. So I appreciate your take on that. What's your favorite tradition? I'm gonna bounce back and forth. What's your
Yeah.
favorite tradition at Hampton University?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you asked this question because I was just talking to somebody the other day. So my favorite tradition, so Hampton University is notorious for the big little system that we have on campus. So every single new student orientation week when the freshmen first come on campus, before everybody else come on campus, through at the beginning of that week, excuse me, everyone gets a big or a little. And a big is basically a big brother, big sister to the little sister, little brother that we have. And they're members of the Greer Dawson Wilson Student Leadership Training Program, which I'm a proud member of on campus. And we are assigned maybe about 6 or 7, sometimes 10 littles per person. And
Oh,
we're
wow.
to them to help them with through their matriculation through their first year of Hampton University. Or for instance, for example, me, I'm a sophomore this year and I have freshman littles, so their matriculation throughout their entire collegiate experience until I graduate. So
That's
yeah.
amazing. That's a beautiful tradition. I know many people call it mentorship, but mentorship looks different from place to place.
Mhm.
And
And then sometimes adopted bigs and you get adopted littles. I'll tell you, I have one assigned big and I love her so much. She's amazing. But I have so many adopted bigs and I'm so close with them. Like those are my big brothers, big sisters for life. If I need anything, I know I could call on them, count on them. I was just on the phone with one of my bigs earlier this morning and they're at work right now because they graduated last year and they were just calling to check on me. So I feel like that's really something special at Hampton University and it happens every single year. The last day of move-in day, everybody goes to a football field after the opening ceremony. They're greeted by the student leaders. We teach them their class chants because we come up with class chants. So that's another thing at Hampton University too. We have class names. So you have Ogre Fi Ogre, Onyx, and Quintessence. And there are only 3 class names. And the reason because that is because the senior class is in charge of bringing in the freshman class. For example, this year, the seniors are Onyx 13, so the freshmen are Onyx 14.
I did not have this experience, so my silence is born out of this is how you get every homecoming, every time I run into a Hamptonite anywhere in the world, they proudly lead with telling you that they went to Hampton University. I'm not kidding. This is the truth. I have a friend who has shared with me that her sisterhood with her Hampton roommates and her Hampton classmates is stronger than the sisterhood with her own siblings. And I don't think that's ridiculous. I think that is, I listen, I think that's pretty cool. But I also think, huh, what is it about Hampton University that has created this space in your heart at this point
Hmm.
whereby somebody is willing to say, vocalize, I'm closer to my Hampton roommates than I
Yeah.
ever was with my own blood siblings.
Oh,
And it's
you.
what I'm hearing you say. There's intentional tradition, and it looks as if this is intentionality that has passed on now from
Yeah.
generation to generation to generation to generation. I'm going to be honest, not every HBCU has that. And
Yeah.
I know everyone claims they love their HBCU as they
Yeah.
should, but I think it is worth looking into a model like this that
Hmm.
really helps to build the community amongst people. Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow,
also
that's
want to mention,
amazing.
I also want to mention that Hampton University has been doing this for years. So because I'm a part of the leadership program on campus, we know the history of the university. So Ogre Fi Ogre was founded in 1963. Um,
Wow.
yeah, 19. I want to say 1963. I could be wrong.
Kevin,
Onyx was
Kevin,
founded. Yes,
Kevin, did they have phones in 1963?
they had the little phone on the wall. Maybe.
Kevin, I'm joking. Kevin, I'm joking. Kevin, I'm joking. Take us through the history of the other names, please. Class names. Ignore me, okay? I'm never
Um,
gonna let you live down the fact that you thought that my generation had no phones. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Onyx was founded in 1974. My class, Quintessence, was founded in 1992. And it's like
Wow.
it's a rivalry actually on campus of which class is the best. Is ogres are the ogres the best? Is Onyx the best? Is Quintessence the best? It's like a big rivalry here. But at the end of the day, it always makes us rep so hard for our class and even more together when we go outside as Hampton University students. We all center around one saying 1868 because it's Hampton University and like it's just like a pirate pride we have over here. So we have not just pride in our university, we have pride in our class names, what class we are. Like if you're a freshman, you're repping Onyx. If you're a senior, you're repping Onyx. If you're a sophomore, which I am, you're repping QT Quintessence. If you're a ogre, you're representing Ogre Phi Ogre. So it's just those different things that keep us on our toes here at Hampton University.
So, let you tell it. Hampton University, you already said it actually, is the greatest university in the entire universe.
The best.
What's the best? What challenge? Because listen, all of us are going to have challenges. What
Yes.
challenges have you experienced at Hampton University?
I would say every university has its own challenges, of course, whether that be dining hall issues, dormitory issues, whether that be issues of clubs and organizations, teachers and professors, the lack of teachers and professors at times. Every university has its own set of challenges, but I think that's what makes every university so unique and Hampton University most unique. Like we have certain things put up into place. Like for example, a lot of people hate this tradition, but it's a tradition at Hampton University. So for the first 6 to 8 weeks, I want to say for the first 6 weeks, but it could be the first 8 weeks. For the first 6 or 8 weeks, freshmen have curfew at Hampton University. Meaning, if you're a freshman, you have to be back in your dorm Sunday to Thursday before 11 p.m. and Friday and Saturday before 1 a.m. And it's really just from when you get on campus at the end of August until homecoming, which is in the middle of October, to like kind of like give you that little stability when you come to college because a lot of people when they first come to college, this is their first time outside the house, first time not being under their parents' roof, being grown, being able to make your own decisions, and it's a lot of responsibility. So the university really prides itself in making sure that we deliver the number one student experience. And sometimes that means being able to know when your students need to have that extra layer of protection. And quite to be quite frank with you, in Hampton, Virginia, there's nothing to do past 11 p.m. on the week and nothing to do past 1 a.m. on the weekend. So I don't think it's too crazy, but I do think that might be one of the things that is a challenge for some people when they first come here because it's like I have curfew, but to be honest to you, I'm a sophomore right now in my second semester. I don't remember having curfew. It's such a distant memory. But the things that I do remember about curfew is it brought me and the people in my hall, Harkness Hall, it brought us together so much. When I tell you I have these best friends that I still talk to this day, one of them transferred. But I have this group of best friends, and we will always go to Keem and Ben's dorm, 112B or 112A at Harkness Hall. And when I tell you, it
You
would
gave
bring
the whole address. Like you gave all the details. Go
well,
ahead.
we bring more. But it was just so amazing to have that kind of bond and brotherhood with everybody in the dorm. Like we were forced to be in there at 11 p.m. every single day, whether we liked it or not. So it was like, y'all have to be here. Go ahead, get along with each other, have fun, and we didn't feel like going to sleep, so we sat up and talked. We would do debriefs about the day. We would talk about different things, get to know each other on a deeper level. So I think all in all, some things may look like they're punishing you or may look like they're not good at first, but you really do learn to value those experiences that you have later down the line.
I appreciate that, but I'm gonna push you a little, right? Um If HBCUs are a microcosm
Yeah.
of our Black communities,
Yeah.
how can we better address the challenges that occur in our HBCUs, in your case, Hampton University, so that when you get out of Hampton University and you are just dealing with real life, you are better prepared? Like how, because I don't think brushing it under the rug is the answer. And especially
At all.
you, you are you're not just a political science major, you're a political science major with a leadership studies minor on the pre-law track. You plan on
Yeah.
going after the tough stuff someday, right? Where you are now, what are you experiencing that is preparing you for dealing with this with the tough stuff someday?
I would say, to answer your first question, it's just a sense of self advocacy, knowing how to advocate for yourself. I think that's
Okay.
one thing that I would say our generation struggles with, and one thing that tends to be a problem at our HBCUs is most students don't know how to advocate for themselves. And when I say that, I mean anyone could say, "Hey, I feel like this is wrong. Please don't do this." But it's different when you actually have a conversation, an intellectual conversation, a professional conversation. And this is going to your second point about how do you do this when you get out of school? How do you address these problems when you get out of school? You have to know how to address an issue with grace, respectfully, without raising your voice, without being disrespectful, without being rude, but addressing the issue. And that does take time, and it does take a certain level of maturity that you would not have as a freshman. But I can guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, over 90% of Hampton University students graduate Hampton University, probably 95, knowing how to address issues without being disrespectful, without being rude, without yelling, without popping off, but by thinking about it correctly. How do I address this person and get what I want and not make life harder for me?
What do you say to your generation to encourage them to get more involved with the political process?
Can you repeat the question?
Absolutely. What would you say to your generation
Yeah.
of college students to
Mm-hmm.
encourage them to get a little bit more involved with things going on in in their communities, as
Mm-hmm.
well as in getting more involved in the political process? Not in
Yes.
politics, but in the political process.
Yes, I would say Voters of Tomorrow. So, Voters of Tomorrow is a national nonprofit organization that has many different chapters around the country at both colleges, universities, and also community chapters. I serve as a chapter president here at Hampton University, and it's really an organization that strives to engage Gen Z while also informing them of what's going on and making sure that they're one registered to vote. They know how important it is to register to vote and all those different things as well. I think today the biggest thing with our generation is not the voter apathy aspect of it as it has been in previous generations. It's the matter of disinformation that's being put out there and knowing how to accurately research your sources. I feel as if in our generation in particular, there's been a big loss in how we research different things. If we see something on TikTok or
Mm.
unverified, we will run with it instead of how other generations have done. Go get a book, research it, double verify it. And I do think that it stems from events of who has been in charge in this country. Like the people who have, like the fish rots from the head. So when you have someone who is the quote unquote leader of a country and puts people in different sub leadership positions, it causes that when you have terms of the fake news, disinformation. So I think that's the biggest thing that's stopping people because it's like, okay, well, I don't know what to believe, so I'm just not gonna do anything. I'm getting overstimulated. I'm getting stressed out. This is a lot going on. I'm spiking right now. Those different things and stuff
Hmm.
researching. and also having people that are willing to do the research and also help out and educate other people.
I appreciate you for that. I There was a moment that you said that your generation versus older generations and what they did, and I'm not going to let you off the hook about this phone thing. And I literally said in my head, because we didn't have phones, right? So we had to go and research it in some other way. Let me leave you alone with the phone thing, Kevin. Kevin, is there anything that you would love to bless the audience with before we wrap up, that you're like, wait, hold on, I wanted to talk about this. You should have asked me this. I may not have done a good job at it. Is there anything that you want to bless the audience with?
Um, just advice for any prospective high school students that want to go to a HBCU, where that be Hampton University or a HBCU in general. It would be definitely research what university you're going to. Definitely go there, go on tours. For me, one of the things that I did that really helped me was I went and started looking up the university's Instagram and looked up different student organizations. And after I looked up those student organizations, I started looking up student leaders on campus, like who has this leadership, like who has this leadership position, who has this leadership position, who commented on this post, who commented on that post. And after doing all those different things, I actually started building relationships and building rapport with people at different universities, and that also helped me as well, because as much fluff that the websites and everything will give you and the Instagrams will give you, it's nothing like having those actual honest conversations with students on campus. And I'm one of those students that will tell you, if you want to know the real, I will give you the real. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I try to be that person. Like on my TikTok page, I have a whole bunch of TikToks from Hampton University, what you can expect, what goes on, a day in the life of an active student leader on campus.
Nice.
Really take that in consideration.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Kevin, as we end this episode, leave our audience with a parting word or short phrase on why you, Kevin Jones, love HBCUs. He took a deep
Because
breath.
yeah, that's a really good question, and one that I didn't anticipate. um, I love my HBCU so much. I mean, I feel like I would not be the person I am and am becoming to be if it was not for attending HBCU, somewhere that I am respected, somewhere that I am loved, and somewhere that I can see myself growing and developing. That character development at Hampton University or any HBCU you go to, not just particularly Hampton, any HBCU you go to, is one that you will not find anywhere else. The standard of excellence and success that you see at HBCUs, everybody, everyone in the room vouching for you, wanting your success, not wanting anything but the best for you, is unlike anything you would ever see anywhere. So many people from so many different walks of lives, states, regions, different personalities. Everything is different about them other than the color of their skin. And they still work hard, they play hard, and they have fun.
I have not visited the home by the sea yet. But I look forward to it. I am realizing you're not the only one. I'm realizing that when you ask a Hamptonite to say why they love HBCUs, it is impossible for them to put it in a short word or phrase. They've got to give you a feeling. So I accept that feeling, and I'm taking that as an invitation to come and visit Hampton University. Listen, Kevin, thank you so much for being my amazing guest on the podcast this lovely day. To those watching, to those listening, it is impossible. Listen, just for you to see Kevin For you to see Kevin dog us millennials out for not having phones and never seeing phones before until 5 years ago, and for you to honestly see the nonverbals on his face, I think it is impossible for you not to go ahead and like this episode. And I hope I've done my due diligence in getting you to subscribe to I Love My HBCU ? On YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Yours in HBCU love. See you next episode. And Kevin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've been listening to I Love My HBCU ? Let's keep the conversation going as we share our stories and encourage more practical support of HBCUs, whilst of course holding each other accountable. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for the latest episodes. Until next time, love and lift your HBCU.